Hi, wherever you're joining me, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to India Tech Report, a platform dedicated to chronicling and supporting the growth of India's deep tech and climate tech ecosystems, with the occasional segue into other areas of tech entrepreneurship. I'm Hari Arakli, and this is another edition of the Climate on Monday. So let's get started. UN Climate Chief Simon Style has called on governments to urgently present new national climate action plans, warning that fewer than 30 countries have submitted their NDCs ahead of the looming deadline, Climate Change News reports. Countries including China, India, and the EU are yet to announce targets. Style stressed robust climate plans are vital for tackling global warming and capturing economic benefits from the clean energy transition. The World Meteorological Organization has published its latest annual air quality bulletin, which underscores how air quality and climate change are tightly linked, impacting health, economies, and ecosystems, according to a press release from the WMO. It highlights risks from wildfires, winter fog, shipping, and urban pollution, and calls for integrated action and improved monitoring. International coordination is crucial to address aerosol hazards and enhance forecasts for effective risk management. PFZW, the world's 11th largest pension fund, has pulled 33.5 billion euros from BlackRock, Legal & General, and AQR Capital Management to focus on sustainability and market-level returns, Green Central Banking reports. The move comes as climate risk pressures mount and activists push for greener investments. PFZW will now lean on Robeco, UBS, PGGM, and others for its €50 billion equity portfolio, signaling a wider EU pivot away from US climate policies. MIT spin-off Commonwealth Fusion Systems closed an $863 million Series B2 round, bringing its total funding close to $3 billion, Latitude Media reports. The capital will accelerate progress on Commonwealth Fusion's Spark fusion demonstrator and commercial ARC plant in Virginia, backed by investors including NVIDIA, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos. The company aims for continuous fusion and $50 per megawatt hour energy costs, but economic viability depends on breakthroughs in technology and manufacturing. Breakthrough Energy, Khosla Ventures, and DCVC have launched the All Aboard Coalition, a $300 million fund to support climate tech startups amid declining US funding, PE Insights reports. Backed by more than $40 billion in investor assets, the group will target emissions reduction technologies like carbon removal, green hydrogen, and long-duration storage. The fund aims to address the capital gap, leaving many early-stage companies struggling to scale. Third Derivative, the RMI Climate Tech Accelerator, has welcomed 18 new startups from 6 countries to its portfolio, which now totals more than 280 companies, RMI said in a press release. Selected startups span innovations from bamboo building systems and green hydrogen to recyclable wind turbines and zero-emission cooling. Third Derivative aims to bridge finance and resource gaps for market-ready decarbonization tech, with portfolio startups raising $3.7 billion and creating 4,400 jobs since inception. The Livability Challenge 2026 has launched in Singapore with a record 4 million Singaporean dollars, or about $3.1 million US, funding for climate tech startups, Eco-Business reports. This 9th edition has a new partner, A-Star, which has pledged 2 million Singaporean dollars annually to support pilot decarbonization projects, while Temasek Foundation anchors the initiative. Finalists will access test beds and pitch at Ecosperity Week 2026. Catalytic funding and policy reforms are highlighted as key to scaling climate solutions amid global venture funding challenges in the report. Joseph Stiglitz, a Nobel Prize-winning economist, has called for climate technologies to be shared freely to accelerate global decarbonization and ensure equitable access to solutions worldwide, Research Professional News reports. The appeal highlights concerns that restricting climate tech through patents or proprietary deals could slow progress on emissions reduction and sustainability goals, especially for developing nations, and urges collective action to overcome barriers to technology transfer. Taiwanese electronics company Sinbon has made a minority investment in Berlin-based Swabi, giving the climate tech company access to Sinbon's global manufacturing and engineering expertise, the companies said in a press release. The partnership aims to advance battery swapping infrastructure for sustainable last-mile urban transport and will support broader adoption of swappable batteries. The deal underscores rising collaboration in e-mobility and green tech between Europe and Asia. To end today's brief, I'd like to draw your attention to a really interesting conference later this week in Chennai on climate tech, considered one of the largest such conferences in the country. Climafix Summit 2025 will gather more than 400 startups, 150 investors, and 250 corporate participants at IIT Madras Research Park on September 11th and 12th. The agenda spans biosolutions, energy efficiency, deep tech, and translational research, featuring expert talks, startup journeys, curated pitches, and AI for climate sessions to accelerate climate innovation and cross-sector partnerships. Among the speakers are Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala of IIT Madras Research Park, Suhas Bakshi of Biofuel Circle, and Janani Mittal of TechNip. That's it for today. You can find links to all the headlines in the show notes wherever you get your podcasts. For in-depth conversations with founders, investors, industry leaders, and other stakeholders building India's deep tech and climate tech ecosystems, please listen to my India Tech Report in Conversation podcast. To support my work, please subscribe to my posts at indiatechreport.in if you'd like to get all these in one place. I'm Hari Arakli. Thank you for listening.